Who will win, Jake Paul or KSI? Now, why am I doing this so early? Because the fight is never going to happen. So let's get straight to it. They both have fought professional boxers now. Jake Paul has fought in Tommy Fury, and KSI has fought in Joe Fournier. Now, what do we know about these fighters after seeing those fights? We know Jake Paul has a very good jab. He has a very decent jab. But we also seen that against Tommy Fury, Jake Paul gassed out. He gassed out in the later rounds and he kind of got sloppy, and that's when Tommy Fury started taking over. Now with KSI versus Joe Fournier, well, KSI is in incredible shape. We've not seen KSI gas out since the Logan Paul 2 fight. So again, we know that KSI's tank is way bigger and way stronger than Jake Paul's. So if it goes to the later rounds, I think KSI will dominate Jake Paul just based off their cardio. Now, power wise, Jake Paul has knocked down or has knocked out every single one of his opponents. Jake Paul has never slipped up and got clipped with anything. So he has a jaw and he has power. Let's look at KSI. Does he have power? Yes. Does he have a jaw? Yes, because we've seen he took an uppercut by Logan Paul and then he got an illegal punch by Logan Paul, which knocked him down. But again, he still has a solid jaw. We've seen KSI take punches against Face Tempter. So again, he could eat punches, but he also could throw them. Now against Joe Fournier, he was absolutely dominating him. Again, a world champion. Joe Fournier isn't just a regular boxer. He is a world champion, and he was making that shit look easy. I know Joe Fournier is old and he has a lot of ring dust, but the fact that KSI was dominating him in round one, that was absolutely incredible. Now let's look at Jake Paul. I mean, Jake Paul kind of disappointed. I kind of wanted to see more in the Tommy Fury fight. The Nate Diaz fight, his most recent fight, was disappointing. I mean, he dropped Nate Diaz. He got the win. But again, I don't think you could say Jake Paul is better than KSI after his latest performance, just based off KSI's latest knockouts. Who cares if the elbow, yeah, but we all seen Joe Fournier was already going to go down. We already seen him dizzied out before that. So again, a lot of people want to take away KSI's credibility because he got that elbow. But that is not the case. KSI was still going to win that fight. Any real boxing fan will know that KSI was going to win that fight in the later rounds, or maybe even in that round. But now again, who do I think will win? I think if Jake Paul gets clipped with one of KSI's crazy right hands, one of those sloppy ones that he caught Logan Paul with, I think it's over for Jake Paul because again, Jake Paul's right hand didn't do shit to Tommy Fury, didn't do shit to Nate Diaz. So I don't know where the fuck his power has gone. I don't know if he's dieting way too hard and he's losing all of his power or he stopped working on his power. But I don't know where Jake Paul's power has gone. His defense is also trash. He was getting caught by Nate Diaz and by Tommy Fury consistently. KSI also does get caught with punches, but he can eat those. I've never seen KSI ever feel the punch. I never see him like give a reaction. He just eats them. Against Face Tempter, he was getting hit with jabs, right hands, and he would just come in after Tempter. So again, based off who could take the most punches and who could actually give them, I got KSI. And again, maybe Jake Paul is more skilled. Maybe he has more boxing IQ. But we obviously could see that against KSI versus Logan Paul, that didn't mean shit because KSI still got the victory. So who do I think will win against Jake Paul and KSI? I got KSI winning by KO.
Now, if this fight was to happen, how would the fight go? Which I don't even think this fight might even happen because KSI even said if he beats Tommy Fury in his upcoming fight, that there's an 80% chance that he's going to quit boxing. So if he does beat Tommy Fury, there's obviously a 0% chance he's going to fight Jake Paul. Why would he want to fight Jake Paul? People saying, oh, it will be good so that way he can end Jake Paul. He can't just beat Tommy Fury and leave boxing without fighting Jake Paul, not giving the fans what they wanted. KSI doesn't care about that. We've seen it. KSI's not interested in fighting Jake Paul. If Jake Paul wants to have this big ego and say, you know what, everything's under my rules, everything's under my promotion. So KSI obviously is not going to go chasing after Jake Paul. So if he beats Tommy Fury and Jake Paul doesn't want to agree on something quick and easy, then KSI is not going to fucking want to fight him. But here's the thing. If they were to fight, how would the fight go? Well, obviously, Jake Paul is good at timing his shots. Jake Paul is good at, trying to figure out their opponents. But at the same time, KSI starts off really fast. And I'm telling you, like, really fast. Every single one of his latest fights, after he came back from the second Logan Paul fight, we've seen him. He started really fast, very aggressive. So here's the thing. We already seen what happened when Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. Tommy Fury started off really aggressive, putting a lot of pressure on Jake Paul. And what happened? over the rounds. He just kept winning and winning the rounds, all because he was putting a lot of pressure on Jake Paul, and Jake Paul wasn't really responding with anything. So if we see this with the KSI versus Jake Paul fight, I think it's really clear that KSI, if he doesn't knock him out, he's going to be winning the rounds and winning the rounds. And by the time it gets to like the last 3 rounds, it might be the end for Jake Paul. And Jake Paul might not be able to land anything and not win any other rounds because it might be too close to the end. But I don't think it's going to end in decision. I think someone's getting knocked out. And again, like my brother said, I think KSI has the power, and I think KSI has the speed and the aggression, and I don't think Jake Paul is ready for that. Jake Paul is more of, he has that actual boxing stance, like he fights like a real boxer. But KSI doesn't fight like a real boxer. He fights like an animal. He's very unpredictable. So when a true boxer is fighting somebody who has a crazy style, it's kind of hard to figure them out. This is exactly why Logan Paul lost to KSI, because it was hard for Logan Paul to figure KSI out when he's throwing all these overhand rights. It was kind of hard for him to dodge a punch, for him to move out the way when KSI is just coming at him and being aggressive. So obviously KSI not being the favorite by most people only because Jake Paul has better boxing experience and he fights like a true boxer. I think that's what makes KSI's probability go up even higher. And this is why I think KSI is a way better boxer and will beat Jake Paul when the day comes.